Bum, 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 ba-dum. Hey, what's up? It's Michael, yo. Let me get my good connector over here. Hang on. I took it to, I don't have it here. Anyway, I hope the connection is all right. A little bit different setup today, but I wanted to let you know, if you haven't heard, I'll be in Atlanta some. I'll be traveling a lot, but I got a brand new game show, which is dope. I'm shooting 160 episodes of this brand new game show called Scrambled Up, which is absolutely amazing. Very excited about that. It's going to be shot in Atlanta. It premieres September 8th. So all you Kane fans that are going to watch this, please support your boy on his brand new game show. I'll be in Atlanta. And I even heard my man Joshua, the one that does all that great artwork for the Hurricanes, he lives in Atlanta. So when I get back there, Joshua, next week, I'm going to hit you up. There he is, Joshua Leonard. There he is. I'm going to hit you up, man. We're going to break some bread. We're going to talk some Canes. Also, Joshua, since I got you on here, I know you're on here, I want to throw this idea at you. I've been tagged so much, like hashtag Yo Michael. Hashtag Yo Michael. Apparently, there's this Japanese animated character that people hit up called, the hashtag is Yo Michael, but the name is like Leonardo something. I was wondering if we could work together. And of course, I'll pay you, Joshua. But to make almost like a mock of that with me on it, look it up, see if you find it. But it's huge, man. I get tagged all the time. And the hashtag is Yo Michael. So I'm sure if you hashtag Yo Michael, you'll find it. All right. IMAX, what's up, bro? Thanks, man, for y'all tapping in. I appreciate it. Man, let's get to the Canes. Let's get to some Canes. All right, here's the deal, man. Brody Jennings, we got him. This is what I'm going to cover. And I want to say what's up, because I love Alex Dano. He has the everydayers. I want to say what's up to the every once a weekers, maybe every 2 a weekers that check in. You know, I appreciate it. Thanks for making us your 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th listen. I'll take it. I'll take anything, because we all know Alex Dano is the king of the Canes. They should change, instead of Locked On Canes, Alex Dano's show should be called King of Canes. The King of Canes. That is Alex Dano, my friend. All right. Today we're going to talk Brody Jennings, Calvin Russell. We're going to talk about all the Miami fans whining. A lot of Miami, not all of them, but a lot of Miami fans whining that we're missing out on South Florida players. I'll break down why. Also, I'm going to tell you the biggest rival Miami has this year. And it's not who you think. But let's jump into it. Brody Jennings, cornerback, got him. Flipped from Michigan to Miami, 6'1", 185. He's ranked top 150 nationally, number 18 cornerback, number 129 overall. He did a bunch of visits. You know, he went to Florida, he went to Georgia, he went to Auburn, Michigan, but flipped to us. So we love Brody Jennings. That's great. I'm glad we got him. He's a stud, and we're very excited about it, because we went about a week without a commitment, and of course they're going to start doing my yard as soon as I start this podcast. You see how they are? You see? As soon as I start doing this podcast, they got to start doing my yard. We'll push through it, though. Sorry if you hear the noise outside. I apologize. But we got him, so that's very exciting. I mean, we got 4 or 5 DBs now. Strong DB class. Excited about that. We missed out on we think we're going to miss out on that lineman we want. But we got 6 linemen. Oh, my God. These people, as soon as I start this podcast, I'm so angry right now. You're around the corner from at IMAX. I'm in Dunwoody by y'all tell. Okay, look at that. We got a bunch of fans that live in Atlanta. All right. So we're excited about Brody Jennings. Now, I want to address Calvin Russell. 5-star wide receiver, Miami Northwestern. You know that's a pipeline. Like, just before we move on with Cal, just the Miami players that have come from Northwestern, it's a pipeline. Ja'Cory Harris, he came from there. Vernon Carey, first round NFL draft pick by the Dolphins. Artie Burns, first round draft pick for the Dolphins. You had Marcus Forston, that was a All-American, freshman All-American. Benny Blades, Brett Perryman, Tolbert Bain, Mel Bratton, Reggie Sutton, Bubba McDowell. I mean, on and on. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. Miami Northwest. We missed out on Calvin Russell. And I read the blogs just like you. I read everything just like you. Like let's be honest. We addicted to the Canes. Me and you and I, we addicted to the Canes. We love the Miami Hurricanes. And I'm hearing this, Calvin Russell, where you go, Syracuse, that's fine. To me, first of all, let's talk about it. If you don't want to play for Miami, then you don't need to play. I wish him well and everything, but you grown men. Let's be honest. We are grown men. Grown men getting mad about college players going to other schools. Now, I think that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And the argument I hear, well, when we were great, we kept all the players in Florida. Yeah. You know what they didn't have back then? You know what they did? Cell phones. They didn't have the web, the internets. They didn't have that. Now these coaches know players from all across the country. Let me give you an example. I talked to DJ Williams on this show right here. DJ Williams, the man on this show right here. You know what he told me? He had to call Miami back in those days because they didn't know nothing about him. If you don't know, he went to LaSalle High School in Concord, California. Miami knew nothing. He called. They didn't take his call. And then they called him back and was like, oh, yeah, we're interested. They had to look him up. So when people say we got to keep the fence around, it's different times, man. All the schools know about Florida. Back then, it was word of mouth, man. They had scouts here and there, but it was basically word of mouth, and you dominated your area. I bet you if you go back to those days, the area where the most players came from was from that area that school was in. So when people say you got to keep the fence around Florida, yes, Florida has the best football players. We all know this. But it's a different time. It's a different time. They didn't have a player couldn't put a video on Instagram that and showed he was really good and thousands of people see it at once. It was you hope you were good at high school because I went through the recruiting process. I wasn't a DJ Williams or anything like that, but I remember I had to send my own tapes out. And these coaches would get hundreds of tapes because I went to a high school that wasn't very popular with scouts. So that's the thing. It's a different time. You're talking about keeping all the players from Florida went to yeah, because no other scouts knew about them really. So let's talk about that first before you say keep this fence. Grown men. Come on, grown men. We grown here. If a kid want to go play somewhere else, let him go play somebody else. You got handlers pushing kids away from Miami now. Blue. Now in handlers, are you saying parents that trying to get extra money? Please explain to me what handlers, who's handlers, Blue? Yes, you see that, Yusef? Number one recruit was Williams. DJ Williams was the number one recruit, and Miami didn't even know about him. That's what I'm saying. Back then, it was like that. And Miami never even thought they had a chance with DJ Williams until he called them. So they weren't even on his radar. Now, today, if DJ Williams was playing, every school in America would know about him. That's the difference of keeping a fence around Miami or not keeping a fence around Miami. When people say we need to keep Florida, man, that's so ridiculous. That's just the dumbest thing. Like, I know you want to keep Florida players, but that's a dumb statement because there are so many more people that know about Florida players. It's a different time. It's a different time. So when you whining about this, it's like, yo, That's like saying, oh man, we used to ride horses and it took us 7 years to get somewhere. Now we jump in a plane, get there in 4 hours. It's different, bro. Oh, we got one. I haven't even read these, so I'm just putting them up here. We didn't miss out on Russell. Coaches didn't value him as highly of other 5-star receivers. He's too skinny and insists on playing basketball. There's also other stuff behind the scenes. Russell wasn't a miss. I'm not saying he was a miss. What I'm saying is this is not about Russell. I don't care where Russell goes, right? I honestly don't care where he goes. I don't care where any kid goes. I love every player we get. Like, of course, I was invested in Jackson Cantwell because we build lines. We build the trenches, you know? Of course you want him, but I agree. You know, I mean, that's the word. And I'm not going to dog on the kid, but there are other 5 stars they felt were better. Derek Cooper. I personally think and this is just me. And I have no evidence. I do talk to people, but I have no evidence of it. I think we got a good shot, even though we got a good shot at Keys. I think these players know who's coming, where there's a possible chance of other players. They all talk. They all talk. Look, I'm a comic. And let me tell you something. I know stuff in the comedy world that y'all don't know yet. Y'all will know maybe a year from now, 6 months from now. But I know comics doing things y'all don't even know about. Just like these high school football players, they know what other high school players are doing. So just think about this. You Calvin Russell, you want to be valued as a 5-star because you are a 5-star. Congratulations, Calvin Russell. And I hope you do well at Syracuse. When you watch them lose like 6 games, I hope you still go there. I hope you're committed. I hope you're not just going there because you think they're going to be good. I want you to watch them lose 5 or 6 games this year, and I want you to go there. And if you're the man you think you are, hopefully you can be part of turning that program around. And I say this with my heart. I say this with my heart. You know, I wish the best for you. But if you are Calvin Russell, you a 5-star. And I believe this. I've never been a 5-star. I don't know. But like any profession, you want to be valued at the highest. If you good, you want to be valued as that. I'm sure Syracuse, we were going to give them money too. I'm sure Syracuse rolled out the red carpet, did whatever they had to do to get him. Now, if you Calvin Russell knowing they could get Derek Cooper, they could get Keys. They already got JoJo Trader. They already got what's his name? Stafford coming. You already got great receivers already there. You know, you got Malachi, Tony. I mean, Miami stacked at receiver. Let's be honest. Unless you a dog, you're not coming to Miami if you're a receiver. You have to be so confident in yourself. Look, I'm a comic, so I like to put it in comics terms. I'll put it like this. If I show up to the Comedy Cellar in New York, there's 2 types of comics. And I see Dave Chappelle's on the lineup, Bill Burr's on the lineup, Jim Gaffigan, Nate Bargatze, whoever is on the lineup. And then they'll be like, yo, who wants to go after Dave? There are a handful of comedians that would be like, yep. And there are a handful of comedians be like, nah, I'm good. Me? I'll be the one to be, yes, I want to see how good. Yes, please. I've been after Bill Burr. I've been after Chris Rock. I've been after Jerry Seinfeld. That's when you find out if you're good, going after one of those big comics. But there are comedians. I've been in rooms where comedians like, nah, I don't want to go after. No. So for Russell to be like, he wants to be the man with, highest recruit ever in our school. Thank you so much for coming. You're not going to get that in Miami. You know why? Because we have history with great players. And this is nothing against Russell, but if what Blue said is true, you won't get that same value in Miami. And a lot of people saying, yeah, Mario played the game of basketball, which I have no evidence of, but he really doesn't want you to play basketball. Maybe that's true. I don't know. But I do not think the whole Florida, keep the players in Florida, just like they did it's totally different. Don't ever say that. Too many people know about Florida players now. All right? That's the big thing I wanted to get off my chest. That's really the biggest thing I want to get off my chest. And I wanted to use DJ Williams because if you don't know, you go back in the past. We had a great interview. Me and DJ Williams had a great interview. It's somewhere on this channel. It's great, man. Michael Yo ain't no. Look, if you listen to this podcast, you know I bring it every single. I'm not connected to the university. I don't try to interview players because what I say. Why am I going to interview a recruit or a player that's playing for Miami? Because this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a player that's saying all the right things. You're going to get a player that's not telling the truth because they got to play the game. It's all a game. They want to make their money, which I'm happy for. They want to make their money. They got to say the right things because they're part of it. I like to interview people that are out of the program. Like, I can't wait to interview X. I think he's going to make the Titans, by the way. I think I hit him up the other day, man. Just God's plan. All the time I text him God's plan. Because, man, I've seen him just glow up, just blow up, man. And I'm telling you, I think he's going to make the Titans. But that's who I want to interview. I want to interview DJ Williams again. I want to interview players like that because that's where you get the real story. And they'll tell you what's really wrong with the program from the inside. You know what I mean? What show are you doing? Okay, so it's official. Me and Gio are doing a podcast together at the Dania Improv. And you will see flyers. We'll start promoting it. Dania Improv. It's going to start at like 4:30, 5 o'clock because I got 2 comedy shows, 7 and 9 o'clock. It's going to be August 29th, 2 days before the Notre Dame game. Friday, August 29th, 2 days before the Notre Dame game. It's going to be free entry. You do got to buy your own drinks and food if you want that. But we're going to have some players stop by. Me and Gio. We're going to call it Gio. Gio. Get it? G-Y-O. I think we're looking for a catchy name. So if you have any catchy names, leave it in the comment. But it'll be Joshua. Maybe Joshua should do the artwork for it. But it'll be called like Gio before the Notre. It'll be called something like Gio before the Notre Dame beatdown show or something like that. We'll put it together. But like his podcast, Who Wants Smoke, and my podcast, we're getting together and we're going to do it at the Dania Beach Improv. So it's going to be awesome, man. I'm so excited. Now, I do want to address this. Wait, if you got any comments, this is live. So leave your comment. Amon, yes, I would love Amon to come on the show. I mean, he's part of, he does Gio's podcast, so he should come on the show. I think Amon would be amazing. DJ Williams, if he could stop by, that'd be amazing. Leave what players you want to pop by, and we'll try to make that happen. But mark it down, and what I'm going to do probably at the beginning of August, or maybe a week before August comes, the last week of July, it's going to be an RSVP list so we know how many people coming. Like I said, I wanted everyone to get in free. I only want like straight Hurricane fans there. We'll have some special surprises, but mainly you're going to watch like an hour and 15-minute podcast. And then I got to start my comedy shows after that. You don't have to come to those, whatever. But this is for the fans. We're going to have food. We're going to have all kinds of, we'll do it up for you. We'll do it up. Can you interview? Yes. Try to. We're going to try to here's the thing. We're going to try to get every player on this. Hit that like. Yes, please hit that like button, subscribe. Here's what I found out. 80% of the audience that watches this podcast are not subscribed. I found that out through the end. 80%. That means we could have probably like 8,000 people. 80% that watch this podcast does not. Please hit that subscribe button. Please. Oh, yeah. Look at you doing big things, Joshua Leonard Art. Look at you. Netflix. I love it. Lion Forge Entertainment. Let's go. So I'm going to end with this. Miami's biggest rival, and I told you I would. Miami's biggest rival this year. Because I think Miami's going to go 11-1. I don't think they're going to lose to Notre Dame, though. I think they might slip up with somebody they shouldn't lose to, like they always do. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button, please. Miami biggest rival, and you might hate this when I say it. Is themselves. That's Miami's biggest rival, themselves. Because the end of the year, over the last 7 years, they've dropped so many football games. It's not Florida State. It's not Florida. It's not Notre Dame. It's not SMU. Miami's biggest rival is itself. Because how many times have we seen them drop games to people they shouldn't drop it to? Georgia Tech, Syracuse, up 21-0. I'm not even worried about real rivalry games. I'm worried about the Miami versus Miami Hurricane rivalry game that happens towards the end of the season every single year. So it's not about the games on the schedule. Not to me. It's about the mentality of the team, and it's about the team basically beating itself. That's Miami's biggest rival, itself. It beats itself up every single year towards the end of the year. Check the stats. Last 7-8 years, it beats up itself. So I'm not worried about Florida. I'm not worried about Florida. I'm not worried about Notre Dame. I'm worried about Miami Hurricanes versus Miami Hurricanes. In those games, they should win. Thank you, Slug Bruce. I keep talking it, Slug, because that's what happens. You can call it coaching. You can call it leader. Whatever. I'm not blaming anybody for it, but I'm saying we talking about rivalries. Let's talk about the Miami Hurricanes versus Miami Hurricanes rivalry that happens towards the last 4 games of every season. Can we fix that, please? Can we win that route? That's the rivalry I want to win. If we can win that rivalry, oh man, we would have been in the playoffs last year. There's a couple years we could have been in the playoffs if we win that rivalry. So when when I see all the fans talking about, no, you know where I stand on that. You know where I stand on that. Look, I'm going to tell you, I'm being in Atlanta shooting this new TV show, but this show is about to kick up more. We're about to do more episodes. Big shout outs to DraftKings. They're sponsoring the show now. What's up, DraftKings? They see the potential. They're putting money in it. Let's go. I'll tell you how you can help me out with DraftKings too. But write it down. Write it down. Joshua, if you want, I'll pay you to design a flyer. Joshua, if you don't know, please follow this man's YouTube channel. Because Joshua, hardcore Canes fan, he did the Ibis. He made Sebastian doing the celly that everybody was wearing. That's him right there. That's him. Joshua, I'll pay you to design the dope flyer for Geo Beat Notre Dame podcast show, or whatever we're going to call it. Maybe you can help me think of a name. But maybe we'll pay you to design the flyer so we can keep it Miami. Here's the date. August 29th, Dania Beach Improv. It will happen around 4:30 or 5 o'clock. It's going to be free to get in. And let me tell you, me and Gio were talking about this, Gio Milian. We're saying, man, if we get 30 people, it's a win. But I think you guys are going to come through way bigger than that. You know, I have dreams of having at least 100 there. But, man, we'd be so happy if 20 or 30 people came. So let's make that happen. Oh, Dime Life definitely should be a part of the artwork. Get DJ Williams involved. I saw that 850 Canes, 850. I saw that. Kitten Dobson is about to reclassify from 2027 to 2026. Yeah, that would be big. But I mean, look, but you got to think about this. We're deep at DBs right now. If I was Mario, I'd be like, yo, take your time, bro. Because even some of the transfers they got that came in, what's his name? Lucas, he still got 3 years. You got another transfer that has like they got what was smart about the portal this year that they did at defensive back. They didn't get all seniors. They got some younger guys that are going to play 2 to 3 years at Miami. So I thought that was smart on Mario's side. One thing for sure, the defense will be much better than last year. There we go, 11-1 with the ACC championship plus Final Four. Let me tell you, I don't know how it could be worse. Can that defense be any worse? I don't think it can. I think if anyone on this board or anybody watching this podcast right now, I think we could have coached the defense and been like, hey, it would have been just as good. And I hate to say that, but I really do. I really do. I feel like if you play that EA Sports game, the college football game, just go through the defensive plays. It'd be like, you could pick plays out of the game and just print out the play and be like, hey, y'all run this time, it would have done better. All right, Josh. Peace out, dude, man. Thank you for watching as always. Thank you for watching as always. The Mud Dogs without Bobby Buckner were better. Okay. Or is that Boucher? Bobby Boucher? Did I say that right? Joshua Spears? Is that Bobby Boucher? Yeah. I think I'm saying that right, Joshua? All right. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you're there at the big party. Like it, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Like I said, 80% of the audience that watches this show is not subscribed. So it would mean a lot. It would help me a lot. And you're going to start seeing me a lot more, at least 2-3 times a week. All right. So peace out. Have a great day. Call somebody. Tell them you love them. That's right. Life is short. Live long. All right. Later.